It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Kyle Benedict as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. Great to have you in studio with us today. In studio today is Yavapai County Health Department's Carla Hover. She's the Health Education Coordinator. Good website is yavapaihealth.com. I think we could probably send everybody to yavapaihealth.com and they can gather all the information we're going to talk about today. It's no surprise it got hot. It's Arizona and it is hot. We've got an excessive heat warning until 8 p.m. Friday. That's for elevations below 5,000 feet. That's including the Verde Valley. And we have a heat advisory until 8 p.m. Thursday, and that's, of course, for everybody above 5,000 feet. So starting on Thursday, temperatures are going to start to cool off a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. And it's going to take several days for them to get down. I think it's by next Sunday, Monday, that I see the Verde Valley dropping down to about 104, 105. But Carla's here today because we've got the hot temperatures coming in, and a lot of us say, I'm in Arizona, I live in Arizona, I know what hot is, I'm used to hot, I could be out there all day long. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm living here. But it is a hazard, and you guys sent out a press release last week kind of informing folks about some of the stuff, and we've been reading that on the air. But there were things mentioned like heat stroke, heat exhaustion, being thirsty, things like that. So we're going to go over that today. And although we do live in Arizona and we expect these sort of things to happen to us and these hot temperatures, there's things we need to watch out for. Today it's 114 degrees on June 20th, 2017. The 21st is supposed to be 114 degrees. So it's going to be very hot. And Monday, I think, was 114 degrees.
Yes.
So
it's going to be very hot. And you're right. We're used to heat. We're in Arizona. We know it gets hot.
Right.
But it can go from hot to uncomfortable to very serious and possibly deadly very quickly. So what we want people to be aware of is the signs of what happens with the heat. And it's particularly for younger people, older people, people with pre-existing conditions, heart disease, high blood pressure, things like that.
Okay.
But everybody needs to be aware. Those people that are working outside, I don't think you can get enough water at this, at this point.
This time of year, it's kind of like, I guess I usually think of the Phoenix area where it's like you get out of your air-conditioned car, then you run into an air-conditioned building, and you're kind of like an ant staying in the shadow. You're always trying to stay in the cooler spot.
Right.
I don't think even ants are out in the heat of the day. They
everybody's
stay on the ground.
They're smart.
Yeah, that's pretty smart, right? I mean, we should take a note from the ants. They're underground during the hottest part of the day. So maybe we should talk about some of the avoiding ways we can avoid the heat.
Okay.
What should we not be doing on days when it's going to be 114 degrees?
Should not be outside in the middle of the day. If you want to garden, you want to do some errands, do them early in the day. And plan to be indoors by the hottest part of the day. So by, depends on the day, 9, 10 o'clock, be ready to finish up and go indoors.
Okay.
If you're a gardener and your garden needs tending, that's an early morning chore. Or late at night after the sun's gone down.
Okay.
So we stay out of the sun. We absolutely drink water. I take water with me everywhere. This time of year I have 2 or 3 large containers in my car because you never know what's going to happen.
That's a really good point. We've been emphasizing that one over and over and over again too, is to have extra water in your vehicle, at least a gallon jug of water. And I know warm water doesn't taste very good to drink, but I tell you what, it's better than nothing.
But it's water.
Right, it is, and it's better than nothing in your vehicle. Okay, so lots of water.
Lots of water. Stay indoors. If you have to be outdoors, if you have to work outside, water, water, water. Find the shade and take rest breaks.
Let me ask you this. What if I don't particularly care to drink water? What if I'm a big soda guy? Is that going to help me as much?
Soda, caffeine, alcohol are all diuretics. They all dehydrate you.
Oh, really? Okay, so we're actually
so
making
it tastes
things worse.
nice and cool. We're drinking a nice icy drink. But water is what is going to replenish your system the best.
Okay.
And, there are things you can do. Put some lemon in it, put some flavoring, put something in it to make it a little more palatable if you're not a water person, but absolutely water.
I wanted to hit that because there's people out there that are just not water people. Clothing. Let's talk about clothing a little bit. What kind of clothing should I be wearing when I'm out here in the heat?
Not black.
Okay.
And not heavy.
Right, and don't wear black. All right, that makes sense.
Lightweight clothing.
Okay.
Light colors, so the heat is reflected off, the sun is reflected off. And, you know, at this time of year also we have to watch out for sunburn. So we're talking, if you can do long sleeves, that's great. Long, light sleeves that will keep you protected. Hats, absolutely.
Okay.
Anything that you can do to protect yourself.
Cover the ears, cover the neck.
Sunscreen, all those things.
Sunscreen, lots of sunscreen
All those things that you need to protect, because again, if you get sunburned, the heat coming off your body is going to dehydrate you more.
Let me ask you this, Carla. What if a lot of construction workers, landscapers, things of that nature working here, and they're pretty wise about this, but let's say I'm not a landscaper, but I'm not a construction worker, but I feel like I can, you know, work through that noon to 5 o'clock time frame. If I am out there, what are some of the dangers there, and what should I be doing to keep out of that?
Well, you have to be really careful of that, because you know, your first sign that there's a problem is dehydration. You're going to start to get thirsty. And by the time you say, oh, I'm thirsty, you've already started getting dehydrated.
Oh.
So you're already started on that path. So when somebody says, oh, I'm really thirsty, you need to drink lots of water, because you're already and on a regular basis. And you know what? They say 8 cups of water a day. When you're talking this kind of heat and being outdoors, that is not enough. It needs to be more than that.
But I'm not sweaty.
I know. And if you're not sweaty, that's even worse.
Oh,
and
really?
That's like the final stage that you need to be really
aware
of.
Oh, we're going to get to that too, aren't we?
Yeah.
We'll be talking about that. Maybe we should take our first break a little bit early.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? Before we, but we also want to know that there's a Salvation Army heat relief station.
Yes.
Let's talk about this real quick. There's a Salvation Army heat relief station that's set up at the Cottonwood
at the Cottonwood Rec Center.
Cottonwood Rec Center. Okay.
It goes through tomorrow, through the 21st.
Okay.
And they have set it up so those people that don't have air conditioning, or their air conditioning might break, are not stuck at home in this kind of heat.
Okay.
So they are offering a cool space for people to cool off, and water.
Okay.
So you know, anybody that feels like they need that, please take advantage of it.
Okay, so the Salvation Army is set up at the Cottonwood Rec Center on 6th Street, so you can always take advantage of that, right? Website is YavapaiHealth.com. We're sitting down with Yavapai County Health Department's Carla Hover. She is the Health Education Coordinator. This is Paul David. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That would be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
The Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Trizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes. Hey, it's Bruno Mars. Ed Sheeran. What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber. You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
To make a difference, we must stand together. Stand with me. Be drug-free. Supporting our families and listening to our teens.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
We are all one. No one is immune.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
Let's stand together for a healthier community.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
Welcome back to Countywide. We're talking about heat-related illnesses today with Carla Hover from the Yavapai County Health Department. Website is yavapaihealth.com. Phone number is 634-6858. So we've gone through the clothing. Get out there in the morning, early morning hours when it's cool. Back out there in the evening when it's cool. If you are going to be outside, light clothing, light colored clothing, and light material clothing to keep yourself as cool as possible. Also, we want to let folks know that there is a Salvation Army heat relief station set up at the Cottonwood Rec Center on 6th Street through Wednesday, the 21st. Through the 21st of June the 21st. So I imagine it was set up there because it was going to be so hot. 114 degrees 3 days in a row is pretty insane. All right, let me ask you this. I'm out there, I'm feeling what? What's happening to me when I start going into these heat-related illnesses?
Okay, so let's look at it from the beginning. We mentioned thirsty. Once you're thirsty, you've already started to become dehydrated. Okay, so you want to be drinking water the whole time you're out there. But once you start to become thirsty, you need to think about going indoors, adding more water to your system, getting out of the heat for a while.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty easy. People can do that.
Right.
The next stage would be heat cramps. If you start getting abdominal cramps, if you start getting leg cramps while you're out there working, your body's saying it's losing too much water and it's losing too much salt.
Okay.
So those are the things that cause those cramps.
All right.
So that's be aware of.
Lack of water, lack of salt leads to cramps.
Yep. Get inside. Water.
Okay.
Add water. You're okay as long as you can get in and cool off.
And probably, I don't know, how long do you think, I guess it depends on the person, how long it would take to recover from something
Yeah,
like that, right?
It totally depends on the person.
Right, that makes sense.
The next step would be heat exhaustion. And these are the people that you see with the bright red faces and they're sweating profusely and they are just, they get really tired. They can get pale skin, they can get bright red skin, but they're sweating and you can see it. So the sweat's coming out, it's evaporating. So as that sweat evaporates, you're losing your hydration.
That's heat exhaustion.
That's heat exhaustion.
And it
so
exhausts
that absolutely get indoors, and it may be accompanied by the cramps.
Okay.
You may be getting that too. You might be nauseous. You might start vomiting. You might be dizzy. Those things that you need to get indoors and start to cool down, but also drinking water, but on a slower basis, so you're not pouring water into your stomach that's already cramping and upset.
Okay.
So drink water every 15 minutes until you feel better, and then you can.
I would think at that point it's probably time to call it a day.
Time to call it a day, absolutely.
Wouldn't you? Yeah.
Absolutely, because and I've seen kids go from they're outside playing, they're having a great time, to all of a sudden they're sweating or they start to go pale and they just get totally exhausted and start to check out. Get them indoors.
Does it happen faster for a kid?
It happens
elderly
faster
people?
for kids, elderly people.
Kids, they'll go.
Absolutely.
I mean, far more than any adult will.
Yeah.
But there's adults out there that do that too.
Right.
But kids will. They'll push themselves.
Right.
You take them swimming, and they'll be in that water until they've got purple lips.
Right.
And they'll still be going.
And so they're still going.
Okay.
So
we need
it's
to
up
really
to the
watch.
adult to watch those kids. So your young kids, your older people. People who already have chronic diseases, heart disease, high blood pressure, need to be specifically aware of that. And some medications will affect people and make them more susceptible to heat illnesses.
Okay.
So the next step,
Yeah.
if you don't listen to your body and you don't so at this point your body temperature is still okay.
Wow.
The next step is heat stroke, which can be deadly.
Okay.
So your body temperature goes too high. It can affect your brain. It can damage your organs. I mean, this is how serious we're talking, from I'm thirsty to
You're boiling.
You're boiling up. You're boiling inside. You're hot and red, but your skin's dry. You're no longer sweating. Your sweating is the way to cool your body. So you're no longer sweating. So your skin is really dry. You may faint. Go in and out of consciousness. Weak pulse, or very rapid weak pulse, very rapid weak breathing are signs that you are dehydrating.
Okay.
And beyond dehydrating, this is heat stroke. And this is not a go inside. This is a go inside and call 911.
Okay.
Or have someone call 911 for you. Heat stroke can be deadly. And people need to be aware that Yes, we live in Arizona, but things like this can happen. And we want to make sure that we're watching out for our friends, our family, and, you know, a barbecue, we're having a pool party. Just be aware that these things can happen if somebody gets too much sun.
Let me ask you this. If I've got the heat exhaustion or a heat stroke, let's say my wife finds me and I've just pushed it to the limit, and I've got these signs, and she's dialing 911. What are some of the things that person can do to kind of relieve that stress on the body prior to emergency personnel arriving?
You can take wet sheets, wet towels, wrap them around the person because you're trying to get that body temperature down.
Is that the main goal right there? Is
Yes,
just get that core
you want to
cooled
get
off?
that. You want to get that core cooled off. So wrapping somebody in wet sheets, wet towels, putting them near a fan. You know, pointing a fan at them. They're gonna. It's gonna feel cold, but you want that core to come down. Because it's now gone where your body temperature is rising too high.
Okay, I can see that being really dangerous, especially if it's affecting your brain. Now you're going to be disoriented and have a difficult time thinking for yourself anymore.
Right, and that disorientation can come with either the heat exhaustion or the heat stroke.
Okay.
So you want to be aware of that.
Okay, now if I'm alone, what should I be doing?
If you reach heat stroke, you should be calling 911 and letting them know where you are. Getting yourself into the shade if you're outdoors. Getting yourself inside if you're outside. Inside, call 911. Let them know where you are.
911 is
you're better off
for heat stroke.
Yeah, you're better off letting them check you out. So let them come and check you out, and yes, you're okay, and you're cooling down, and you're doing what you need to be doing. But you're better off calling 911.
Okay. Let's get back to the kids and the elderly too. I mean, we need to really keep track of them. I was telling you, Tony Merriman from the National Weather Service was here last week, and we mentioned, he talked at one of the first dangers. There were the 5 dangers of the monsoon, and excessive heat was the number 1. And we made mention that it's always good to check on your elderly neighbors and make sure the swamp coolers and the air conditioners are going on. And you brought it up on the show at the beginning, prior to starting, is that sometimes the elderly folks will be like, it's hot in my house, but I'll just go ahead and ride out the storm, so to speak.
Yeah, we want to make sure that people aren't doing that. We need to look out for our neighbors, even create a buddy system and say, I'll check on you if you'll check on me, so that people know that there are people out there watching them. Sometimes we think we can tough it through something, and it becomes dangerous.
Okay.
And we'd rather not have those problems here.
Yeah, if it's 114 degrees outside, you can only imagine how hot it gets inside someone's home.
Right.
I mean, you get in your vehicle and you see what the temperature is.
My car was 119 the other day when I got in at the end of the day after work.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that hot outside. It was still in the 90s, but it can get deadly fast. And we need to talk about kids too in the car. You and I had talked about that.
Let's do it. Kids in the car.
Do not leave your kids in the car for even a minute while you run into the store.
They crack the windows though.
No.
No. See, that's where we go wrong, right?
Yeah, we say, I'll crack the window, I'll crack all the windows, I'll leave the dog in the car, leave the kids in the car, I'll be right back. The temperature in your car can rise by 20 degrees in a matter of minutes. So when you leave the car, even though the air conditioning was on and it feels nice when you leave it, it can skyrocket in 10 minutes. So what if you get into the store and there's a backup, the line's backed up? Well,
your phone rings. You get on your phone.
Rings. You do something else. There is no such thing as just a minute when you're talking about this kind of heat and kids.
The car engine all of a sudden decides, you know what, I don't want to run anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge what-if factor.
Yes.
I always tell my kids, it's the what-if factor. What if this does happen? Now you've got a major problem on your hands. Yeah.
So we just absolutely do not leave children in the car. And be aware that in this heat, even take them in with you, come back all of the buckles, the metal in the car gets so hot.
Point.
I have seen young children burned because they have little summer clothes on, those lightweight clothes that we were talking about, and you go to buckle the seat belt, and that little buckle is metal, it's so hot that children can get burned by that. Or the metal as they climb in the car door and there's metal on the door and they put their hand on that.
Keep that in mind too. And by the way, we got to take a break, but when you take your pet out for a walk, touch that pavement. If it's too hot for your hand, it's way too hot for Fido's feet. We got to take a break. YavaPaiHealth.com is a website you want to go to for more information on heat-related illnesses. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
The Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes. Hey, it's Bruno Mars. Ed Sheeran. What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber. You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
This was me. And Mom and Dad. And my big brother Alex. And Jack. And this was the day that I learned that sandals get their name from sand. That jellyfish aren't made of jelly. That stars don't just come from the sky. That the ocean is bigger than all of us. This is the day we all got to forget that I was sick. And it changed everything. This was my wish.
I call you and say, I'm with the IRS. You owe back taxes, and if you don't pay today, you're going to jail. You can fix this by sending cash. Did you actually believe me? Too smart to fall for it? Well, last year, Americans paid $100 million to guys like me. 1 in 6 people were scammed. Can you believe it? Well, you shouldn't. I just made that up, too. You are a little gullible.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a couple minutes left in the program, so we've hit the heat-related illnesses, I think, pretty good, don't you?
I think we've got a lot of information out there. If people will just be aware.
Just pay attention to what your body's telling you. Phone number for Carla is 634-6858. The website is YavaPaiHealth.com. We want to remind you that the Salvation Army has a heat relief station. If you don't have AC or swamp cooler going on, you can always go there. It's on 6th Street at Cottonwood at the Rec Center. Also, we're told that some of the fire stations do that too. A fire station won't turn you away. If you're hot and miserable and you can't handle it, go to the fire station. You said library.
Go to the local library.
Read a book for a few hours.
Spend an afternoon in the library.
Yeah, they would love to see you in there. The Rec Center phone number is 639-3200. Another thing that's going on this year, all the wildfires, is smoke. Let's hit that real fast. What should we be doing if we've got smoke issues for our bodies? What should we be doing?
So some of the same people that have to be aware of these heat illnesses also have to be aware of the smoke. People who are have heart disease, lung disease, young children, older people, people who have asthma, all have to be more aware of the smoke in the air. Just because it's going to affect their breathing, it's going to make it harder for them to breathe. You know, any kind of smoke going into your lungs is not going to be helpful. So we just have to be aware of when the smoke comes through the valley and settles and we're breathing it all day long, we need to be aware of that. Again, I think they say go indoors, keep your windows closed, a lot of those same things.
Right.
To protect yourself from the smoke that's coming in.
I think we have 14 to 17 wildfires burning the state right now and 4 prescribed burns, so there's plenty of smoke out there.
Plenty of smoke, whether we realize it in the moment or not.
Right.
There's smoke and debris in the air.
Yeah, there's always a haze. Carla, great to have you in. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good information. Again, YavaPaiHealth.com, 634-6858, and Salvation Army Heat Relief Station at the Cottonwood Rec Center on 6th Street. That is today's Countywide. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.
And drink your water.
Drink your water.